This video is sponsored by The Coldest Water. The first dilemma is from Anonymous. Yo Jordan, I'm 18 and I'm gonna be honest. I feel lonely as hell. I live in London and I'm in year 13, 12th grade I think, and I graduate this June after my A-level exams. I do plan on moving into uni by September this year. I live with my mom and dad at home, sister is at uni. I can't really talk to them because I have a bad relationship with both, mainly my dad due to the mental abuse I had and still have to endure over the past 18 years. In school, I have 2 close friends and that's it. But even then, at break and lunch or in free periods, I usually go find an empty classroom to sit alone in. I do also want a relationship with a girl and I just feel so lonely when I'm by myself, which is most of the time. Any help? Well, Anonymous, first of all, I'm sorry that you've had to endure mental abuse from the people who are supposed to show you unconditional love. With that being said, I also see a little bit of self-abuse in there. When you say that you have 2 close friends, and yet you still you consciously choose to go sit alone in an empty classroom. You have to ask yourself why you're doing that. Okay, the chances are there's something within you that is being suppressed. Okay, loneliness comes from within. I think that's a common misconception. People think that you have to be around other people to dispel that feeling of loneliness. Now, don't get me wrong. We as humans do need social interaction. Okay, do not misconstrue what I'm trying to say here, but at the same time, you can be around people, but if you're not being yourself, if you're not allowing yourself to be who you truly are, and if you're not embracing the essence of your being, including all of the trauma that your parents have clearly caused you, you're not going to allow people's company to really make a difference in your overall psyche. Okay, loneliness stems from within. You are the cause of your loneliness. Now, like I said, it's unfortunate that you've had to deal with mental and or emotional abuse from your parents. And it's very clear that that's affected you. Okay, that has created these feelings of unworthiness, these feelings of isolation, maybe self-reliance. You probably have an avoidant attachment style where you don't let people get too close. And that will probably present itself when you try to actively engage in romantic relationships with women. But you can avoid that if you do the shadow work right now. Okay, now part of that is sitting in that room by yourself and figuring out what it is that is making you feel the way that you feel. Why do you feel lonely when you're by yourself? What aspect of yourself are you refusing to acknowledge? You're not your own friend. You are being your own biggest enemy. You are going against yourself as opposed to being your own best friend. And that's manifesting itself in your outer world, right? Because nobody wants to be friends with somebody who is not friends with themselves. And that's not to say that you can't be friends with somebody who's in that mind state, but you'll find yourself being energetically repelled by people like that. Okay, so it's very important that you take the time to figure out why it is that you feel the way that you feel. Now, like I said, I would reckon that it probably has something to do with your parents. That's something that you can definitely solve through therapy. And if not therapy, then journaling, meditation, just taking time to really analyze yourself, doing all of the self-inventory that you need to do. There's clearly a part of you, probably your inner child, okay, the version of you that was maybe scarred, wounded as a child emotionally. You've never given it the attention that it needed. Therefore, it's manifesting itself in your adult life. Now, like I said, you have an opportunity right now because as you're watching this video, if you're watching this video, you are now aware of the cause. Now it's on you to solve it. Now it's on you to fix the problem at hand, which, like I said, is going to come from awareness, shadow work, and in addition to that, not self-sabotaging. This is why I always say that you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else or receive love from other people. Okay, clearly you have issues with self-love, therefore you repel love from outside of you. The chances are there are probably people who want to be a part of your life, but you're repelling them. You're pushing them away. You're hindering your own personal relationships because you don't love yourself thoroughly. The next dilemma is from John. How to improve your life as a teenager. Okay, John, so you're 15 years old, so I'm going to speak to my 15-year-old self. So here's the thing about improving your life as a teenager. It's very good to get that head start on people, and once you hit your 20s, you're going to be so far ahead that most people probably will never be able to catch up. But at the same time, you have to understand that your teenage years are one of the smallest chapters of your life. Right now, you don't really see just how long your life actually is outside of your teenage years. Hopefully, okay, assuming that you live to be 70 or 80 like the average person does. Your teenage years are only 7 years out of 70 or 80 years. Okay, that's 10% or less of your life. And it's a unique experience that you can never go back to. Once your teenage years are gone, they are gone for good. School, childhood friends, you're 15 years old, you're not even old enough to get an actual job. Take some time to really embrace and appreciate the relationships that you have with your friends right now. Be it one friend, 15 friends, it doesn't matter. Take some time to appreciate that, because as you grow older, you'll find that it'll be much more difficult if you're on your purpose, if you're bettering yourself and you're on your grind, if you will. It'll be much more difficult to indulge in those friendships in the same way that you were able to when you were a child. So definitely appreciate that aspect of your life. Don't take it for granted. But as far as improving yourself, reading books. Okay, reading books and working out, those are two things that are really, really beneficial for your mind and your body. And then add to that meditation for the soul. Okay, if you implement those three things right there, bro, literally those three things, reading, working out, and meditating. If you do some form of those three things every single day, starting from right now, by the time you're 20 years old, you'll be on a whole different level. You will be on a whole different level, okay? Because you get that compounding effect. That's the reason why self-improvement is so impactful for teenagers like you. The compound effect. You get exponential returns. If you get 1% better every month, that 1% becomes bigger and bigger and bigger as you go on. So literally just implement those three things into your life while also balancing that with the appreciation for being a teenager, for being a child. You're still a child. You are still a child. Be a child. Okay, be a child, because once you're an adult, you're an adult. And that's just the way that it is. The next dilemma is from Anonymous. Hi, Jordan. I'm 19 turning 20 and I've never had a boyfriend or kissed a guy before. I honestly don't want a relationship right now, but I'm not getting younger either. Any advice? Well, Anonymous, I was in pretty much your exact same predicament, except obviously I'm a guy. But I didn't have my first kiss until I was 20. 20 going on 21, actually. 20 going on 21. And I didn't get into my first relationship until I was 20 going on 21. So you're not behind or anything. Okay, the chances are you're comparing yourself to other people. If you say that you don't want a relationship, but you're not getting any younger, it's because you're probably on social media or YouTube, or you're just out and about seeing people in their relationships, and you're seeing all of the best aspects of people's relationships, the kisses and the pet names and things like that, but you're not seeing the behind the scenes. You're not seeing the behind the scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with wanting love, especially if it's something that you've never experienced before. If you've never experienced a romantic, intimate relationship with somebody, there's nothing wrong with wanting that. But understand that the perception that you have of it right now from where you are, it's a very short-sighted perspective, and I'm only saying that because I was once in your shoes. Now, with that being said, my audience is mostly male, and you're 20 years old, or you were at least 20 years old at the time of this message right here. So there are a lot of men who are around your age in my audience. The chances are one of them probably lives near you. Okay, so I would recommend to shoot your shot in the comments. Shoot your shot in the comments. What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? Shoot your shot in the comments. You know that every guy who watches my videos, they're all into self-improvement. They're all into leveling up. So to me, that's a match made in heaven right there. Your soulmate is probably somewhere in the comments of this video right now. They're probably 20 and they've never kissed a girl before. Boom. See, I'm out here playing matchmaker, bro. I'm out here playing matchmaker, man. You love to see it. You love to see it. But the next dilemma is from YouTube. Hi, I want to start YouTube. I don't have a computer to edit on. Do you think it's possible to start YouTube with only an iPhone to record and edit? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Technology has advanced to the extent that I don't think you really even need a setup like how I have. I could record all of these same videos on my phone. Sometimes I do record videos on the phone. Any video that you see me recording in the car, I'm recording that on my phone. And you can edit on the phone with iMovie. You can make a lot of money on an iPhone. A great example of this is Spiritual So. Okay, find me 5 videos on his channel that are not recorded with an iPhone, vertically and with random thumbnails, okay, just screenshots from the video. Man puts bare minimum effort into his videos, and he's living good. He's living very, very well, very abundantly, because YouTube is more about the content itself. It's about the message. All of the other things can be elevated. I've seen a lot of people who had the best setups you could think of, but they don't really get any traction on YouTube just because they don't inject enough of their personality into their content. Okay, so it's all about being yourself, creating content that you're passionate about, being consistent, carving your own path, and cultivating an organic brand that cannot be replicated.